Thank you, Daniel. Don't forget, all your waffle entries still count. Hello, Chelsea, my love. All your waffle entries still count. Could you do me a favour, chat? And moderators, can you get rid of any triggering comments? Because that can also be reportable. Yes, love. Don't worry, I like when people laugh, because when it gets restored and I go back onto it and I laugh, she who laughs laughs longer. And isn't he on a backup right now? Oh, yes. Good evening, my loves. Thank you so much, Lorna. Make sure to subscribe on this account, everybody. We use this account at least once a week. If you're not following this account, please make sure to follow. Thank you so much for all these subscriptions. It just makes me more money, doesn't it, loves? We love all the money, honey. Getting so many follows on this account now. This is great for me anyway, for my followers, subscribers, more money. Thank you, Debs. And as soon as that's restored, we'll jump back over and then we'll laugh, okay? We'll have all the laughing. Hello, my darlings. Nearly at the 100,000 double taps, and then we will resume.
Anyway.
Thank you for the subscriptions, everyone. It is paramount that you do stay subscribed to this account as well, my loves, because we do use this at least once a week. People with nothing to hide would not be so intent on having the truth hidden. Thank you, Miss Wendy. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Guilty consciences. Isn't it? That's what you gotta remember, everyone. Someone's so hell-bent on silencing the truth. I've got to be worried. Thank you, Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie, you found me again. Thank you, my love. Ronnie, thank you. Can we pin Ronnie as well? Thank you, Kaz. Thank you, my lovers. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Right, I think I'm going to swerve reading those messages, because I was a bit bored even reading them myself, you know what I mean? Right, let's get this. Thanks for the follows, everyone. Make sure to keep following.
What's up? I said you.
So this is Miss Remy in Alicia's box. Some of these are clips from a few days ago, obviously to give you a well-rounded view of the situation as a whole.
A picture of you and NJ.
Yeah, I saw it late after when everyone bloody mentioned it.
Moderators, can we filter out these people who are passing messages from Pepper Army's live? Because honestly, love, we don't care. We'll get the truth out, and it hurts, obviously, this person. So anybody making comments about other lives will be muted temporarily. And then we'll see you next live.
It was hilarious.
Remy, I've only ever seen you kick off once, and even then you was very...
Oh, you can't even see it properly. But do you not want to see this one? Look at this one.
Yeah, there we go. Ace Ventura, Pet Bummer. And they're all laughing, look at them. And Miss Remy is going on about gay matters, look at this.
I did laugh at that one, I can't help it.
Hey guys, read what it says. That is funny.
In response to what you just said, Alicia, tomorrow's timeline show at 11:30 tomorrow.
I love the timeline show.
You will want to be there. That's all I'm saying.
You will want to be there. Can you see the conspiring? This was 5 days ago. That's what we aim to do, is to show you the full story and not what's been manipulated. And this is what has actually happened over the last week. To be honest, it's been coming.
Saying.
Would I want to be there?
CG, can you show it?
You want to all be there tomorrow. That's all
Am I getting a feature?
That's all I'm saying. You all want to be there. Didn't you say you were standalone and you don't go in packs, Miss Remy?
Yeah.
Remy, if you're going to chat shit about me, just tell me now.
Yeah, just tell me now.
No, you lot are saying you want to hear me clap back some more. So I'm telling you, tomorrow, be there. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Queen.
I'll come when Miss Red's finished, because I'm her mod.
Did Hayley just say I want you to clap back at Zach?
You want to hear me clap back some more. So I'm telling you, tomorrow, be there. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Queenie.
Come when
I
Miss
want you to clap back at Zach. Haley Comet just said as well. Zach's one person. Look at all these people that are coming for him. One person he is.
Red's finished because I'm her mod.
Yeah, and I'm part of the clique, so.
Whatever.
I'm part of the cult.
I'm super mod for Dave Duran now. And I will soon be super mod for Miss Red. Cockapoo, can you
Cockapoo,
put
I
a good
need
word in
to-
for me, please?
I need to ask you a question, Cockapoo.
Yeah, Cockapoo, you need to come in the box so Alicia can ask you something.
Immediately.
She's asked your permission for something.
Is
Right
Remy
then.
You guys for the gifts, by the way.
Is Remy what?
Oh, Cockapoo, exactly. They're all linked in it together.
click?
Of course, Remy's heavily in the clique.
I have no comment on that whatsoever.
I feel like Remy is protected on this app.
I'm in the comic crew.
Heavily protected.
Haley's in the click.
I don't want to be in the
Cockapoo, I need to ask you
You're in the waffle.
your permission because you are the big boss of the click.
Do you think she is?
A Sunday roundup show of the week.
100%. I don't know if you know this, but I've already mentioned it to somebody else who. So if you get in there first, because what I think is that like once a week, if you do like the best and worst bits, like top 10, bottom 10, to keep it balanced, that would be brilliant because not everybody can watch all these friggin' FYP shows.
Thank you so much, Racing Girl.
Excuse me, are you motherfuckers stealing my Wednesday concept of where I sit?
We're doing a
How dare
Sunday.
you? I'm furious.
And that's what stands my show apart from everybody else's. We don't just look at the clips. We build the clips we go and find them. So I actually put the work in to actually find all these stuff, you know, to go back 5 days to find these type of little situations that nobody's even seen. I didn't play this. Did anyone else play this on their FYP?
Furious.
Have you noticed the title?
It was overlooked, but when there's, you know, a deep dive to do, then Evil Queen's doing it.
Do that. Well,
It's going to be a TikTok drama omnibus.
I'm not being funny. If you hadn't blocked me for the last 12 months, I'd know that you went to.
Right, let's get rid of the witches coven now. Okay, so I'm going to show you some clips, obviously, of Zach and Miss Remy, just to show you the timeline of what was said and how it's been lied about and twisted. So let's watch.
I think this is a little bit ludicrous when you also do transphobically abuse other trans people
It's transphobic to you because you're not a trans woman. You know?
because they haven't transitioned at the speed that you have or as fast as you have.
And it's not all about that. When people like me and Evil Queen and other trans creators, like I've got friends, some of my closest friends are trans. Right.
So the reason for playing this, everybody, is because of Miss Remy's comments about Pride. Like, if you don't go to Pride, then you can't be an ally, and, you know, things like that.
Right? And
So Zach was trying to educate her and say, well, that's like saying if you don't go to Notting Hill Festival or wherever it is, thank you, Joe, are you not black, for instance? So this is how it was all starting.
guarantee the majority of these people having this conversation has never genuinely spoke to a trans person about the transition, how painful it is, the stuff that they go through, the operations, the near-death experiences, the mental fuckery. Yeah? I've had 4 friends that I've transitioned with, myself, held their hands, gone to the therapy session, myself, yeah? From the age of 16 to now, I've done it, yeah? And it isn't, you can sit there and be political and woke and go, oh, you said this, so you're transphobic. No, I say stuff. I say, yeah, I say things, but I'm from a generation of Wikipedia. Like, I
JP, thank you so much. Thank you for all the gifts, everybody.
don't care. But it doesn't make me schmomophobic or transphobic, you know. But what we see as LGBTQ members of the community, what we see as certain creators, you know, like Mama Kaz, like Elphaba, Trans Dolkai, we know
Thank
these
you,
people are milking it. We know these people are making a mockery of it. We're allowed to say it because we see it, because we have what experience for our friends that have been through it. That's why we get off. Because you look at people like Mama Kaz and Elphaba, but these people have had thousands of thousands, tens of thousands, up to nearly £80,000.
So as you can see, Zach was being educational and trying to give us his opinion. He didn't know that I wasn't being genuine in my pursuit, you know. So Zach was going, because like, this is what I mean. It proves me and Zach are not these busting buddies that everyone keeps trying to make out behind the scenes and all that. We don't run things past each other. If I'm up to something, I'm not telling anybody, not even Zach, you know what I mean? So he was literally taking the clip at face value. Thank you so much, Ronnie. So then, here we go.
I am new on
I'm not going to play all of these.
TikTok, and 9 months ago, I'd never heard of Misread, I'd never heard of Evil Queen, I'd never heard of Zach the Brat, I'd never heard of Luke the Judge, I'd never heard of Swearing Shit, I'd never heard of any of these people. So, coming into this, I came in onto this app as a very, like, ooh, this is all new and exciting. Going live is not new for me. And building communities is not new to me. Building friendships and relationships like that. CG.
And don't worry, we are going to get onto today's clips as well with regards to what was said in the boxes and what Cockapoo said and all that. I'm just briefly building you a picture of obviously how this has come about before we play what was said this morning. So remember, the last clip we watched, Zach didn't say anything personal about Miss Remy. He didn't talk about her mental health, or he didn't say anything other than what anyone else does on this app who does FYP, comment on a clip that he'd seen. With no communication from me, he didn't know that I wasn't being genuine, you know, and I was just proving a point in my own way.
It's all been new coming onto here, right?
Thank you, Amy.
And there are some takeaways, and I think sometimes it's really healthy because a lot of people have been on here a long time, and sometimes you need like a new person to come in and see it kind of from a neutral
What does she think she's going to do? It takes a new person to come in.
position, right? Because I'm not in any cliques, I'm not in any group.
Well, that doesn't make sense. She said you're not any cliques or groups, but we've just watched you having a good old chuckle. And it was a 20-minute long clip, that, of you and Torian and Alicia and Haley Comet. So that doesn't really make sense, does it?
So I'm not in any circles. Like, I stand here on my own, right? And what I have done in those 9 months is I've got to know different creators, and kind of made my own judgments on them. So when I first started on this app, there were a lot of people that were like, oh, she's cool and she sounds, you know, interesting. And a lot of people sort of were like magnetised towards me. A lot of the big...
No, they weren't. You were used as a pin-up for the black community because you had a strong opinion. I'm going to speak facts here. You went hierarchies up for anything other than your skin colour, and I'm going to tell the truth. That's what you were used for during a race row. So you didn't get magnetised, people drawn towards you. It was because you were heavily involved in a race row. That's the truth.
Bigger creators were sort
It's
of...
like I'd be a token trans person for a trans debate, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing in this instance. Like, you're deluded and obviously trying to rewrite history.
magnetised towards me because I was new. And what I learned very quickly was that...
Thank you, Michelle.
Some of these
Thank you, Michelle. Beautiful.
creators wanted to take control of me, okay? As in, they were happy that I would go into their rooms and they were happy that I liked them and talked about them. But a lot of them, if they didn't like somebody else, would try and get me to not like the people that they didn't like. And so I learned very quickly, I think it was the time you came in as well. Yeah, and I came in right before, hi Violet darling, I came in right before the whole Pearl thing blew up. So I was spending time learning who these creators were. I was spending some time in Canadian Angie's room. I was spending time in Delusive Angie's room. I met Torian and Paigey for the first time. It's so like school, Queen Kimmy. And so I was moving around just kind of like feeling everyone's energy and finding the rooms that I like to spend time in. But what started happening was that I've realised a couple of things. The first thing I've realised is I genuinely am, and I've always been like this, even in the real world, even at school.
Sorry, everyone.
I really am a lone wolf, as cliche as that sounds. I can like lots of people, but I've never been, like, in a gang or a group in my real life. And I find myself being like that here on this app.
She's just boring me. Watch the clip, it's 20 minutes long again, because she drones on, but basically she gets personal about Zach and talks about his mental health and things like that. So just to give you a picture of, like, he talked about pride matter, as in you don't need to go to Pride to be an advocate for anything, you know, not even about me. Just in general, the ideology that she had was wrong, and he spoke about that, but she got personal and talked about him in this video. I'm going to skip a few of these, because I really can't watch them all over again. Right, let's get on to today's, this morning, with Jack from Spartans. There we go.
So you battled him after and stuff like that, right? For me, I felt awkward, an awkward situation. That's what it was, right? And it was nothing more. I didn't feel like harassed or anything like that. Like, it's not that deep or anything. I literally just felt awkward.
Oh yes, it's confetti o'clock. Oh, they're already on anyway. There you go, everybody. If you sent a confetti tonight, you will get 200 entries per one confetti, because I'm feeling generous about tonight. So there we go.
Good about it, that was it. But
200 entries for £1. You win £50 cash, and also all the prizes that I showed earlier on.
And I was not gonna, like, fall out with him in a way. Do you know what I mean? It just made.
But we see in the clips earlier on where he's having the same type of jokes with the likes of Karma Cars. I could probably dig up some with JC and also Dave.
Awkward, and I even said to myself, you can ask anyone who was around me. Wolf knows. This is before any of this come out on the app. I said, oh, fucking hell, mate. I said it put me well on the spot. Zach said this, like, Wolf. I mean, me and Wolf don't really talk much at the minute, because obviously this.
Okay, so they were trying to gender reverse it as well and say, what if it was a woman? So are you telling me this is wrong? So, like, you've been out or whatever, and a fella says to the girl that he's been hanging around with or whatever, oh, do you fancy a bit? And she goes, no, don't be stupid. And he walks out the door and says, well, if you change your mind, and just goes, is that... Because they were trying to change it. Well, imagine if it was a woman, but, like, it'd still be the same thing. There was no forcefulness. There was no aggression. It was a bit of a joke, you know what I mean? So even if it was a woman walking out the door and going, well, if you change your mind, you know where I am, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal.
This whole fighting and stuff, you could probably ask him. He might even tell you the truth. I said, like, loads of people know behind the scenes. I just never brought it out to that, because obviously he had a fella. There was other stuff. It was.
I just wanted to say as well, everybody, that Zach and his partner are no longer together. Not off the back of this. It started from when Pearl posted Zach's partner up. So Zach's been dealing with that behind the scenes as well. They're literally trying to destroy his life. And now, obviously, this has been sent as well. Where's the evidence of Zach going on any type of grind or any of those things? I think DG's added that on, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, so Zach's relationship, you know, has been affected by the likes of Pearl and bringing people's fathers on and exposing the boyfriends and all that. This fella wasn't even out, you know what I mean? So
Was vigorously swiping Grinder while sat at the end of the bed. And then as I say, and then when the
vigorously swiping Grinder. Now, obviously, I'm not a G-man, so I don't know anything about it, but is it the same concept as Tinder, G-men, or is there a swiping feature? Because if there's not, then we know he's talking shit anyway.
This whole thing of him saying the racial thing.
No, there's no swiping. You don't swipe. Oh, DJ. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Another lie exposed. Look at all the G-men who were saying. Oh, no swiping.
Racial slur. That made it a lot easier for me to be like, all right. Obviously, I would have anyway, but it just gave me that extra thingy. So it wasn't.
Can I say something, please, if you don't mind? So I'm going to just say this. When DG came home from that holiday, we had a brief chat.
Why does she do this? When she gets the heat, she hates it and she cries about it and cockapoos the victim, but this is exactly what she did that day to me. when she joined Miss Red's box and went, "Oh, it was me who did this," and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Why does she do it to herself? Like, she's the master of her own disaster, honestly.
And he mentioned it to me, and I've been sworn to secrecy about it ever since. So I am one of those people that he mentioned it to and said that it made him feel uncomfortable, and that, you know, there was talks about other holidays, but that was never ever going to happen. But he was just going to, you know, keep it classy and keep it moving. That's what.
She must watch my show, because I say that, don't I? Recently, keep it classy, not trashy. Stop watching me.
DG said to me, and I raised it with DG maybe several weeks later, and he more or less told me to shut up and never speak about it again. And that was that. So all I'm going to say is, if this is.
Why are they acting like Zach's layered all over him, and you know what I mean? Like, why are they acting like it's this big, massive? DG's joked with his male friends before we've seen it. I've just showed you a clip. I'll get more clips for tomorrow if you want to prove the point.
This is not that deep in my opinion, but if you were going to report historical assault,
nah,
the police would.
Even DG, nah, he said, like, that is outrageous to even make a comparison. What about the people who are in the chat who've been through historical, you know what, and everything? That is just awful, and, you know, is it any wonder, Cockapoo, you know, that people just really can't take to you? What has that got to do with anything? A harmless joke which has been sensationalised for point scoring to make people look silly, as in we'll see a clip in shortly where DG admits to that fact. He wanted to make Zach look stupid. But why? It wasn't even about DG, the clip that he was showing. It was about Miss Remy and the transphobia thing, and, you know, and then he just all of a sudden said that about Zach.
No, I know you're not, but the police would always ask you, what's the evidence that you told somebody about this at the time? What? So people who are asking for...
So, anybody who's been through historical has to have told somebody. I don't think that's the case for most people who've been through that. They don't tell anybody, not the children, not the husband, nobody. And then if they do decide to report it, you know, the police wouldn't say, oh, well, did you tell anyone at the time? Because if you didn't, you know, oh, it didn't happen. Who can you bring forward to verify that you've told them? It's ridiculous, honestly. And is it any wonder that this woman received so much negativity?
Receipts. There will be no receipts other than, clearly, you did tell people at the time that this was something that happened that made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, as I say, nothing like, no, I was nothing like, thank you. There's nothing like I feel like, I just felt a bit awkward in a out of a friendship that I thought was a friendship. That was it. It was nothing like I felt.
But you did it to Karma Kaz and you've done it to Dave and JC. How is it any different, Zach doing it? Why? Why is it any different?
Deep about it like that, but like, but I just felt awkward that it.
How many times has DG been on a live stream with a Gmail and has went, oh, and all that, you know what I mean? You're right, sweetheart, and all that. Like, how many times has he done it to people? It's just a joke.
The friendship had been made to feel like that. That's literally all it was. And the only reason why I said anything, because he's been pissing me off recently with all his fucking antics. So
what's it got to do with you, Zach's antics? Why have you took such an interest? Are you talking about Gemzino every day? Are you talking about people who actually do really bad things on this app? Why is Zach your target? Why have you made him your you know, what he's been doing lately? But what's he done to you? Nothing. I've seen you attack him loads of times, but he's not done anything to you. He's not even retaliated.
I said something because at the time, as I say, he was vigorously swiping through Grindr, well, asking me, and then when I said, oh, I'm going to bed now, I was and I said, I need to phone somebody. I'd come off the phone and told them straight away as well. I was like, oh, no. And as he left the room, he said the exact same thing. He said, well, you know where I am if you want me to hot to, but he didn't say it.
You know how Zach talks, everybody, and he's a joker, and that to me would have been a joke. But the way he says it so sinister, honestly, the man's got issues, real issues with people.
And that he said it in a bit.
That's what people need to understand, DG as well. Like, you know what I mean? You must have felt close as well. Like, and people saying why wait till now? You got to understand, like, it's not as easy to come. Oh, you know, I'm just gonna come out and say it and that.
You're acting like it's like an essay or something. It's not as easy to just come out and say it. My God.
Like, people don't understand, you know. Some people have pride, and some people just don't want to like people might then start rumours saying, "Oh, DG, did you do it?" And then it obviously escalates. Then people don't understand.
DG was the one who brought it to the app.
No.
DG was the one who brought it to the app. Right, let's get the next clip. So, as you know, Jack from Spartans was very annoyed at obviously what Cockapoo had said, and now they'd try and twist this little bit of tongue-in-cheek banter, which everybody's done. I even said to Jack on the phone, Jack said to me, cause I spoke to Jack after he come off his live, Spartans, and he said, do you know how many times I've messaged Zach and said, be quiet before I up you, to shut you up and all that, you know, like, you have jokes like that with G-Men and stuff, you know, like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean, it's just that type of personality, you know?
Okay. How you doing, Spartans? You good? Is that you, Jack?
Yes, mate. How we doing?
Oh, all good, man. All good. You okay?
Mate, I never have an opinion on any of these situations.
Remember, there's only 200 of your confettis left, and that is 200 entries into the waffle for £1.
Yeah, because I'm told to stay out of them. But, like, I am one of these people, yeah, that has always stood against Zach the Brat, yeah? Like with the Lucy situation, I was with Lucy, told Lucy, look, what he's doing is bang out of order. Messaged Zach as well on many occasions and said, you're bang out of order. But the one thing that I think in this situation that people need to understand is that this is a very, very dangerous situation for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Like, dangerous, because this is now being turned from...
Did DG like it when JC was being accused, you know? So people are accusing Zach of the same thing off the back of a joke, which we've seen DG have with many of his other male friends.
I mean, it's been said, right, that they were, that Zach was drunk or whatever, and I'm not putting that down to why he's done it, right? Because obviously he's probably said this statement to DG, whether or not he wanted it to happen or not is not my business, realistically. If he's tried to make an advance or he's suggested he wanted to do something, fair play. If he's in the wrong, if he wants to admit he's done it, he'll admit it. If he don't, he won't. But the one thing that's going on here is that there is a narrative being carried like this has almost been a man locking a man in a room and forcing himself upon someone.
That's the way DG portrayed it.
And like, I just think people should be very, very careful with how they're running with this. And drink is not an excuse to flirtatiously hint or ask for anything of that kind. That's not what I'm here to say. But I think it's very easy. And Alex...
I'm pretty sure there was G banter between DG and Zach on that holiday. I'm going to track down the footage to see if there was any mutual flirtation, you know. Any mutual flirtation, you know, like joking. We're joking with each other, you know, so I'm going to see if there was some of that going on, because I'm sure there was.
Alex, you know, it's very, very easy for a topic of this kind to be taken as something completely different. Now, for me...
Can you take that upon yourselves to find the footage of their holiday and let's review it tomorrow?
Situation, and I was in a hotel room with a woman, and I said...
And if we see DG make one, you know, joke in that regard, then... we'll be seeing it, won't we?
Like, do you fancy a little blah, blah, blah? And she felt awkward and didn't speak to me for months. And then came on the app and said, oh, you know, I was in a hotel room with Jack and Jack asked me if I wanted to do this. And, you know, he didn't let me leave the room. Fair enough. But we have to remember that this is a different situation, right? Zach the Brat is obviously a man of, and I have to watch my words, but he is a man that likes men, right? And he could have been in a situation where he was drunk and he was in an environment where he thought, you know what, I might be able to do this, I'll ask.
I just think he was joking from what I've took it as. I know Zach, so we all know Zach and we watch Zach, and these other male creators always flirt with Zach. Wolf has flirted with Zach loads of times. They've all done it.
But under no circumstances has this man, like, locked a man in a room and said, oi, this is happening now. So for those of you that are throwing shade on this individual, an individual to which I've told to his face has done many things that I don't agree with, right? And I've told him to his face, some of the things he's done have not been great. But this is what TikTok is. And people need to remember that whenever there is someone in a position, Alex, you'll know firsthand, when you're in a position where you've got viewership and you're earning money on the platform, many of things in this world can...
hilarious. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, and it's just, if you choose to watch it and listen, then you can form your own opinion, you know, like, and it's just, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Nobody's committed crimes against children or women or any of those things, so, you know, people saying, oh, people have done the worst things, it's not really the worst things, is it?
Can be taken to destroy someone's platform. And in my opinion, this topic that's been used to throw shade on this individual is not illegal. It may be immoral, and it may have made DG feel awkward, and by all means, I'm
It never made him feel awkward. DG is doing this because he's got something against Zach. We've seen it for months. Don't you remember when I was shocked when he started talking shit about Zach and being horrible to him? I was like, whoa, I thought they were nice to each other.
friends with both parties, right? I'm a neutral commenter. I have no benefit. I don't manage either of them. This is just me having an opinion. But if this is going to be discussed across the platform, people need to remember that nobody was forced to do anything. Nobody was locked in a room. Everyone could have left that scenario.
That's what I'm saying. The chat's saying no means no, but he left the room. DG, by his own mouth, said he left the room and said, oh, well, if you change your mind, and I think DG is more than capable of handling himself against Zach the Brat, you know? So I don't understand why his chat was saying that, you know, no means no, no means no. Well, he took no when he walked out.
Or that situation at any time. And I know DG as a person would not want that narrative being spread around the app that, like, anyone's forced anyone upon him. So
the thing is, Jack, I've not heard anyone say that, though. Any of this sort you're saying now, I've not heard anyone spin that he was...
If you read the chat, Alex, if you're reading your chat, you'll see that people like, this is disgusting.
But this is, to be honest with you, Jack, if you... The reason why...
It was what Cockapoo said. So then Jack got kicked out the box by one of Alex's moderators, and he started up his own live, and this is what he had to say.
It's not what the app's for. It's not. This is not what it's for. And on Sunday of all days, like, drama is drama, but when you're taking something like that to benefit...
Thank you for all these follows, Rosie J and Shell, and it's all popping up on my screen. It never used to do that, but I can see everyone who's pressing follow. It's like black on my screen.
Viewership, and you're not being neutral. You're not hearing from all parties involved. Like, what is your purpose? You're trying to destroy someone's platform. Like, honestly. Nah.
I stand by what I said about taking the thing I said back from my own moral compass, but Cockapoo is not a nice person, as we all know. We've seen it many times. It's only ever nastiness, and, you know, she's a very a man's woman, if you get me, you know what I mean? She'll go with the men and what they're saying, as opposed to she's not a girl's girl, if you get me.
Mate, it's not on. And I never comment on these situations. You can verify it in the chat. I never ever comment on these situations. I let them go on, but I'm not going to see a man...
And she's the type of person, Cockapoo, that winds people up, and then people end up saying nasty things to her, and then she becomes the victim, you know what I mean?
Who is we've clearly been told was drunk, in my opinion, say, do you want me to... Do you know what I mean? And he may have done it because he wanted to. But then as he's left the room after being refused, if this is the case, he has left the room and said, well, you know where I am.
See,
like,
even Jack knows how Zach would have said it, and we all do. It would have been a joke, because what happened, if anyone missed it earlier on, Zach and DG went on holiday. They were having a little bit of banter through the day and that, you know, with the G jokes, and you know how men get around G men. They start like acting up, don't they, and acting camp themselves. So there was all that going on, and Zach was meant to be DG's wingman to pull a woman, and DG didn't pull any women. Nobody wanted to know. Because obviously, based on looks and that alone, no women would go near, if you get me. It's only the women on this app who know the money he's got, although he wouldn't give it to them anyway. I don't know why they bother. So he didn't pull, you know, because nobody had a clue, because he's not famous, for instance. He's just a battler on this app, basically. And he didn't pull, so Zach jokingly said, oh, well, since you didn't pull, do you want me to do it for you? You know, and DG's went, nah, you're all right, whatever. And Zach's went, well, if you change your mind, you know where I am, and walked out the door. You know, it was a joke.
Come on, let's have it right. If I approach a woman in a hotel and say...
Zach does not pull either. He had a boyfriend. So he wouldn't be pulling. DG is making lies up, saying that he was scanning through Tind, whatever it's called. I don't even know.
What, like, do you wanna get freaky? And she goes, nah, not tonight. Like, fuck off. And I leave the room and go, like, to protect my fucking embarrassment. Well, you know where I am.
Exactly.
Pissed as a fart.
Yes, thank you so much. And he wouldn't even chat shit.
Am I gonna go down for 10 years? No, I'm not. You've just embarrassed yourself. You've made an advance. It's not worked, and that's that. DG has obviously held it back because he was awkward. He didn't want to bring that to the platform. Now, for whatever reason, that's his prerogative.
For no reason, though, he did it for no reason. He launched into an attack on Zach based on a bit of footage he was watching on his FYP show that he says is cringe, and that people who do FYP shows are the scared, you know, like, yeah, he's doing it himself now. It's very strange, weird person.
He's decided to release that now. That's his business. He's chose to do that. But don't allow your chat to be spreading a narrative that Zach the Brat is 6'4" and has locked him in the room and has put hands on him and made him feel awkward and vulnerable that he couldn't leave. DG's nearly 7 foot, mate.
Exactly.
I couldn't jump on DG. And I'm fucking 6'2". 20 stone, fat cut. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Please understand. Be a voice on this app. If you're going to be in chats, then be a voice. Because it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's not Team Zach, it's not Team G, it's Team fucking honesty and it's Team, like, positivity. You shouldn't be using a platform to destroy someone.
Exactly. For nothing as well. Has any of you said Zach come for DG at all? Over these weeks that we've watched DG repeatedly come for him over and over again?
How do we know that tonight Zach isn't going to go, well, everyone's calling me this, they're all saying I've...
There you go, so none of you have seen Zach coming back, and even DG's chat will know that Zach has not come back at DG, and he's been relentlessly putting things out for months up until this point, and then he's dropped this last night for no reason whatsoever. I don't know what he's got against Zach so much. I'd love to know what it was.
False
because there's people doing things on this app well worse than Zach is, and he's not having such a personal grievance against them or getting himself involved in their shit, you know what I mean? And it was he commented on it while watching Miss Remy and Zach go at it, like, and have their argument.
Myself, I've had enough. People need to understand some people's mental health. Me myself, yeah, I can't control emotion. When I'm down, I'm down. People will verify it. I am down in the dumps. Done. Like, click of a button, gone. That's the way my brain works. When I'm happy, I'm too happy. When I'm obsessed about work, I can't do anything else. If
ADHD. I've got the same.
I'm doing gym, I have to be at the gym at 8 o'clock. It will depress me for the rest of the day. That's how my brain works. Do you get what I'm saying? And DG's here now. Let him tell you that he's not the one spreading this narrative. Because it's fucking wrong.
But he did instigate it all. And he knew what people would speculate and say. I know you're saying to take the confettis down, but I'm being nice to me people tonight. So you can have until past to grab your confettis. One confetti is 200 entries into my giveaway.
The guy's obviously embarrassed himself if it's happened, and I don't know if it has or not. But people...
I don't think Zach's embarrassed himself, because I don't think it was that type of situation. I don't think it was serious. I don't think Zach was genuine when he was saying it. I think it was just a joke. I don't think he was serious in any manner whatsoever. I don't think he felt embarrassed. I think he just was joking as he usually does. So I don't even think he felt any of those things that people are saying. He might have been embarrassed. I don't think he was, because it was just one of Zach's jokes, and they were having friendly G banter the whole time of the holiday.
People in the chat should not be...
And the people asking, when was it? You just need to type in the search bar, DG and Zach holiday, and it'll come up all the clips.
Spreading a narrative like DG is a vulnerable person who couldn't escape the room, and you know, if it was a woman, it would be completely different. No, it wouldn't. It would be a woman embarrassing herself and losing her viewership because she's mugged herself off. That's it. She's mugged herself off. But if DG's not spreading this narrative like he felt like he was fucking in trouble.
He may not be spreading that, though, and implying that, but he's doing a good enough job of lighting the fire, basically, and watching it burn. You know, he knew by saying that people had insinuate that Zach's been out of order in some way, and, you know, imagine if it was a woman. Why do people keep saying that? It wasn't. Why can't they stick to the situation? Well, if it was a woman, you know what I mean? Well, it wasn't, and we know what the situation was, so what's the point in adding things on? That's like saying... But what if a seagull flew through the window and pecked Zach's eyes out as he was saying it? Well, that's ridiculous. Just like saying. Thank you, Elijah, my love, for the whale, my love. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're in multiple times. Thank you, my love.
The door was locked. If he's not spreading this narrative, then why is it being made out that, like, it's so much worse than it is? I don't get it. And people are allowing their chat to spread that. Like, it's just fucked, mate. It's absolutely fucked. Ridiculous. Read the chats. And even that comment gyrated me. If it was a woman and the shoe was on
gyrated
the other foot, it would be so much different. What? Me approaching a woman and getting refused. Why would it be different?
Exactly.
What? Because it's a woman. It's
how many of you in the chat have said something similar and been rejected, you know what I mean? Like, I know it wasn't that situation, it was just a joke, but even if it was that situation, I'm sure it's happened to loads of different people.
more embarrassing. It's a man and a man. A man of that sexuality has been drunk, made an advance. It's embarrassing. He's embarrassed himself, and that's that. DG has not spread a narrative. DG's purpose is obviously to let people know to embarrass Zach. That's what the purpose is.
But ask yourselves, why did he want to embarrass Zach? What is the underlying reason? There must be a reason. For every action, there's a reason, isn't there? So what was the reason to even try to embarrass Zach? What had Zach done to DG?
It's very obvious. He's done it to embarrass Zach. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know who said what about what. But
No, Zach hasn't said nothing about DG. DG's been attacking Zach for weeks.
that is the purpose of dropping this information. It's not to ruin someone's life. And it's certainly not to give someone a platform.
I don't think he's jealous of Zach, though, because he makes a lot of money, DG, you know, so I don't think it's jealousy. There must be something, though, and I can't put my finger on it, you know. I'll explore it in my mind and try and think what it could be. But I don't think he's homophobic or any of those things either, you know. I don't think he's that way, but I don't know what it is to do with the Zach. Zach hasn't made any indirect hints about anything, because I see Zach's clips and he's not making any references, you know what I mean?
And allow a narrative to be spread. Like, and yeah.
And I know how much of a liar DG is. He's insinuated many times that I fancied him in some degree, which is not the case at all. Like, so I know what he's like in these instances when he tries to chat this shit. For some reason, he must have a jaded mirror, you know, which shows you lies, because someone of my caliber would never in a million years go near anyone like you, you know what I mean? And if anyone mentioned Rick Stiller, I was vulnerable at the time, so I was manipulated. But, you know, definitely not. You're nowhere near my type. You're too old for a start.
Yeah, allegedly. So
I only date from 20 to 26 now, you know what I mean? I've got this Tinder, you see, now. And I can see, it's like a catalogue of men. I can see all these people, and as soon as you get to 27, they start to lose their hair and all that, you know what I mean? So I've decided 20 to 26. Hopefully not around 20, but you know what I mean? You never know.
it's fucking madness, honestly. It's absolute madness.
Right. Then we've got DG jumping in the box with Spartan.
But like, it's the truth, and I don't give a shit if you don't believe me or not. That's all it is.
That's not the purpose. You're not bothered if you don't believe me, but it's the same as me. Like, it's completely different if I come.
Don't you want experience? I don't want anything from any men, you know what I mean? You've got to remember is, I was saying this earlier on to one of my friends, like, it's so different, you know? Like, I don't, like, years ago, I'd be like, oh, I want to meet a fella with money, I want this, but I've got my own money, so I don't strive for any of those things. So with me, it's very, very different, you know what I mean? Because I've got my own successes, so I don't need anything from. So, you know, I'm just gonna, I've never, ever in my life, you know, just, like, dated different people and all that. So I was thinking, maybe I should do that this time, just have a little, you know what I mean, chill, meet a few people or whatever. But not anytime soon, you know what I mean? I'm just chilling, just happy existing, you know what I mean?
I come on and said, oh yeah, you know, DG's been messaging my missus and trying to advance on her or send her messages. Then we went to a hotel for a load of TikTokers meeting up. DG was in a room with my missus and, you know, he was standing.
Don't you think young boys will just use you for money? Well, no, because I can't really be used for money, because it happened once before. Not with a younger man, just it happened once before to me, so I'm very, you know what I mean, like, I would never let anybody come near me just because I've got money, because I wouldn't give it to them, you know what I mean, so.
Standing by the door and wouldn't let her out and asked her.
And I don't want to be in any relationships, honest to God. I couldn't imagine nothing worse. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to grab the last few confettis before they go.
For like it's a completely different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my purpose, and I know you're not spreading that narrative, and you're not trying to get that on the app. So I just thought someone needs to stand up and say,
Thank you, everyone.
don't fucking make this into something that it's not, because it's not. It's an embarrassing situation.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that on anybody. Like as I say, I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy. It's not been painted to be like that or anything. It's literally just.
Why did you say it in the first place?
Yeah,
No, we appreciate you, DG.
Younger men are more immature. Listen, I am not going to start dating 37-year-old people, nearly 40. Are you mad? Look at the condition I'm in. Why would I do that? That's nuts.
Right, I'm making some dinner anyway, so I'm going to have to go.
Go on, mate. Sweet as.
In a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is crazy talk. Are you mad? Imagine me dating a 40-year-old. Oh, yeah, I won't be a minute. No way. I'm not taking anyone. I'm just having a little window shop at the moment. You know what I mean? Right. DG Decor is back on TikTok after saying he was leaving 5 hours ago. He mentions EQ and the Zach the Brat situation.
DG Decor is back on TikTok after saying he was leaving 5 hours ago. He mentions EQ and also Zach the Brat situation.
Or something like that. Someone says she's got some dirt on me, so go and have a look.
No, I haven't got dirt on anybody. I'm just got the deep dive on the information of how it started, where it come from, and there's no justification for you saying that last night that I can find. We're going to review footage of you with your other male friends and how we've already had one clip submitted, which was the Karma Kaz one. So can anybody find me, if possible, go on a little deep dive later on and tag me in any videos of DG, you know, touching his male friends, you know, and, you know, acting up, you know, as in he does. So, and then maybe battles with people and stuff, you know, of the G community and how he spoke to them and stuff. So we can reach around jokes, things like that. Like, let's get all that together to prove that there was no justification. And if there is, what is it? Tell us now then.
Have a watch of that whenever she's on in about 2 hours. But yeah, for anyone who said I went live after, it's not really, let's be honest, it's not really a reason to not go live. I was put in an awkward situation, that's it. Yep. That's literally it. I'm not a fucking snowflake. If someone did that to you, who was a friend, you'd feel awkward now.
Why is he acting like, oh, we've heard him make these jokes a million times? I've got clips of him saying the same stuff to women. Any clips will do, and I'll play them tomorrow. Just to wrap the story up, you know what I mean? Because I can wrap it up already, but that'd give me a bit of extra just to back up, you know, to put some more scaffolding towards what I've told you tonight and that. Because I've got no dog in this race, you know what I mean? Like, me and Zach are not besties, no matter how many people try to say we are, and where we communicate like that, we don't at all.
I think anyone would feel the same. That was literally it. But obviously at the time,
just tag
he had a fella, and he
tag me in them again. I'll check my tags at the end of the show.
He was swiping.
Just tag on this account.
Around her. That's the only thing. So hence why I said a couple of weeks ago, carry on banging, and I'll send the footage to the TikTok app.
Do you know? See, remember when he made that threat a few weeks ago? Oh, the holiday, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's that about?" You know what I mean? So he's planned this, but why? I get what he's done, but why is the question.
I mean, that's all I said, and then he carried on fucking like just with his snide digs against everyone.
Against everyone, see, not against him, not against DJ. DJ doesn't say it's sly digs against me. It's sly digs against everyone. But Zach does an FYP show. Miss Red does the same. Luke does the same. They take swipes at people. You know what I mean? And it's FYP.
So I thought, and just to, as I say, just to confirm again, because let's not.
You thought Zach had cheated? Zach's never cheated on anybody or done anything like that, and he hasn't been on the grind while he's had a partner. And Pearl and all of these people who are doing all these things have destroyed Zach's relationship. You know, his partner's not on social media in that way. He's just a normal person. He hadn't even come out to his friends and family, and then all of a sudden it's all over an app thanks to Pearl and all that. They've been doing this to Zach for a long time. And those that have watched and keep up to date, you know, then you'll know that that's the truth. And he's been threatening Zach for weeks.
Make someone play a victim because of it. It was, how was my dinner? It was lovely, you know. It was actually really nice.
what I'm saying now. You make me lose track of what I'm saying sometimes. Tired.
DG Decor is back.